Hello, and welcome to the channel. I'm the Coins Monster. What's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Right. Gonna say hi to the people in the chat. So, Eddie, my man, on Leverage, thanks for coming again. Ozzy, brother. I appreciate you guys making the time to watch the live stream. And we're gonna study the market a bit, see what's cooking, and where we're gonna find our entries for the near future. Alright, so first off, let's go hit Bitcoin. But before I do that, as usual, type in number 1 if the sound of the screen is clear enough for you. Right? Just to make sure we're gonna get the message across in the neatest fashion possible. Alright, so Bitcoin currently making a bear flag. Alright, now I'm going to jump into the 12-hour time frame and kind of move this fractal away for a bit. Okay, it started hitting the entry levels that I had posted. I even tweeted about this. Right, so do follow me on Twitter. You'll definitely find something on the coins that you're interested in holding or trading. I'll post a couple of updates over there as well. Alright, so Bitcoin still looking weak. Okay, to be honest, it looks extremely weak, but I don't doubt at all if Bitcoin can just start to consolidate here, go up slightly before it comes back down again. Okay, that's usually what happens with these kind of plays, and especially when the move is that bearish. Okay, now I'm not bearish on the overall trend that is playing out currently in Bitcoin, but this move on the shorter time frame does look a bit bearish. Okay, so that's why I still have and still stick to my projected entries. So we already hit 39k, went a bit below it, and 39,000 exactly and 38,200 are still the targets. Okay, so we still have a bit of way to go. Now, looking at this bearish structure, it doesn't look like Bitcoin can just break out of this little pattern right here. Okay, it can be a bull flag, it can be a falling wedge. Time will tell, but we need more touches to confirm. Okay, since we need more touches to confirm, we are still waiting, and we have to wait. There is no other way to it. Okay, there is nothing else we can do. But it does look like it's playing out pretty much the same structure it did back in here in May, June, and July. Okay, so to be honest, it looks like this kind of. Alright, let's cancel this. Kind of looks like this. Alright, so we need to wait and watch, see where it starts to break out from. Now, I have pulled this fractal out and combined it with this little fractal from 2018. So we have 2018 fractal, and we have this little fractal right here. That fractal is from this cycle alone. Okay, so back in 2021 when it played out the whole May, June, and July thing, I have combined the fractal now. You just have to wait and see where it matches up. Okay, we'll just have to see. If not, it can just go all the way up after doing a double bottom, or just one bottom, it can just start bouncing. Okay, so it might just do this. Might just go up, come back down, double bottom, and just start heading up again. Okay, now this is what I see on Bitcoin. My future projection is still the same. this critical level right here at 45k is going to be broken and then retested. It's going to be like the break and support. Okay, so it's come down here, go up, support, hold it, and then head back up. Okay, that's what's going to happen, and it's going to happen very, very quickly. Just like we saw up in here, it took us from July all the way up to October. It's actually only 3 months, but since we're only going to hold up until this move, it's going to happen way quicker than 3 months. Okay, but to determine more accurately the time period, we need to know where it's going to bottom out, and it's not up to us at this very moment. It depends on the market maker, so we're just waiting and see where it goes up to. Well, comes down to and then goes up. So our targets are basically the same, 55 to 60k. That's where we're still holding. All right, now I'm going to jump in here to the current price action. I'm going to go on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, now this one and that one. Right, so it's currently fighting the 200-day moving average. Okay, I assume it's going to just kind of flag out and just hold here, just like that, until the 55 moving average, this little red one, comes back down, and then Bitcoin falls down. Okay, now it's going to hold up until this 55 moving average comes down a little bit. It's not necessary for the price action to touch it because it hasn't done it before. Okay, it just might consolidate there. As soon as it gets close to it, it'll just start to bottom out. Okay, and then find it to sway up. So that's what I see on the price action on Bitcoin. Okay, and 1 hour apparently has a little bit of bullish divergence that is already printed out. Okay, it's a little bit of bullish divergence, but the momentum is still a bit weak, so we'll just have to wait and see. I don't think Bitcoin is actually going to break 42,000 at this point. Okay, I don't think it has the capacity at this very moment, because the critical zone is still hanging around 41.5, so breaking 42 is going to be very, very unlikely. Okay, it's very unlikely because this support, it just kind of Bart Simpson out basically, and when that happens, it just kind of goes downhill from there. Okay, just at least for a little while. Good. Now the other reason for the drop is gold. Gold has actually gone up in the last couple of days. Okay, ever since it broke out, Bitcoin just started to kind of drop. Okay, now I'm projecting a theory on gold, and I think gold still has a little bit of a leg up left, but not by much. I think it might hit 1900, 1920s, and then start to come back down again. Okay, many people are projecting, oh, it's gonna break up because it's been 500 days of consolidation, and yeah, it could be, but I don't really think so. Okay, because the weekly time frame, it doesn't look like it has that much strength left on the weekly chart. Just a little bit, but there is already bearish divergence showing. So even if this breaks higher, the bearish divergence is only going to get extended. Right? Plus it depends on the critical zone. It has to break out ridiculously strong for it to negate that bearish divergence. Only time will tell. The higher it goes, the lower Bitcoin falls. Okay, so you just have to wait and see where gold kind of bottoms. But this again is a weekly chart. Okay, so weekly chart is for months and months to come. So it's not going to go all the way up in a straight line. So even if it does go up, I mean, it can go up when Bitcoin is ready to go in the bear market for a couple of years. Okay, so many people who are just posting all these trades of Bitcoin is going down to zero because gold is going up or whatever, well, it can take some time. Right, it can definitely take some time. Right. So, gonna start with Ethereum for one of my subs. She's always hanging in there. She's always asking about ETH. So, Lynn, if you're watching this, Ethereum is still in the projection. Okay, now I shorted ETH right around 31.20 mark. Okay, I got a really good entry, and I already got my stops in profit. So just have to wait. I think Ethereum can definitely come back down to about 2,700, 2,600. Okay, and then we see where it bottoms. Now again, it all depends on Bitcoin. Okay, right. Now we got the Bitcoin dominance still kind of struggling and fighting its way, so it can hit all the way up to about 44-45% mark. Okay, now this is good. Actually, I'll say this is good, because if it breaks out higher now, it means it's only going to drop harder. Okay, it's only going to drop harder, and I kind of hope it does go up slightly. It just means we get better entries on these altcoins, right? So one thing that I've kept close eye on, because the bearish divergence, even though it was there, it was just a bit weak. Okay, it was very, very, very small bearish divergence. And typically what happens with bearish divergence is it kind of starts playing out at the double hill. Okay, so this is the first hill, and this is going to be a double hill, but Bitcoin dominance is going to start to play downwards. Okay, it does look like still has a bit of strength left on the daily. Okay, it is kind of making a bullish pattern on the RSI, so it's a cup and handle. It might break to the upside, but since there's already bearish divergence, I don't think it's going to break to into all-time highs anytime soon. Okay, so gotta wait for this. Now again, with the USDT dominance, it's still playing out beautifully, still playing out the projection, which means I am still on point until this gets negated, and I'm still on point by not posting as many trades. Okay, the recent one that was posted was API3, which blew up today, so congrats to you guys who took it alongside with me, and we'll just wait until this thing kind of starts playing up. Okay, once this thing gets rejected, it's go time for us. Okay, this still looks like it has a bit of strength on the daily, so maybe for another week we get about 0.40, 0.50% increase on the USDT dominance. Okay, but we do have to wait. There is no other way around it, because now this is looking like double bottom on the RSI, double bottom on the stochastics. The histogram is losing bearish momentum. It's on its way up, at least for the next 7 days. Okay, at least for the next 7 days. So if you're looking for answers for when to buy, this is the kind of thing you should be focusing on the charts. Now follow me on Twitter. If you aren't in my Telegram group, follow me on Twitter. I will post these updates as soon as I think is go time. Alright, so now XRP, it's one of the coins that is holding really strong during this dip. Right now, this usually does that, but I'm still going to remain firm to my entry zones on XRP. Okay, it does look like a double bottom, which is why there is this bounce. All these futures traders who are doing 50x, 100x leverage in 15-minute time frames, they're kind of playing this. Okay, now this is sort of a symmetrical triangle, which typically breaks to the either or side. Now it's broken to the downside, currently doing a bearish retest, double bearish retest to be exact. And let's see if this is fake out to the upside to try and break back into the pattern, but most likely it's going to hit at least one of these two buy zones. Okay, at least the first two it can hit. I don't doubt it can come back down to about 72 and 70 cents, but let's see, time will tell, because it is holding. Now this fractal right here, it's from XRP itself. Okay, look how well that fits. Alright, kind of fits almost exactly to the T. Now it doesn't happen in a straight line, but if Bitcoin does go down to 38k, then well, I think 72 cents and 70 cents are still on the cards. Okay, So personally, if I want to add to my bags, which I am going to, I'm going to be looking for the first entry here around 68 and 70 cents, and then the next one I will open up, I'll add to my bags at 71-72 cents. Okay, that's the double bottom but with a higher low, so I will definitely go in bigger position size once I have a confirmation low, which will be this one. Okay, and then we'll take it from there. So now one coin that I want you to definitely keep your eye on is Ontology. One of the subscribers, he spoke about it the other day, and I'll be honest, I do really like it. I'm expecting another bottom around 45 cents for it. Okay, because now it does look like it's a bit weak to keep on going up, but it does look like it definitely can happen, at least 45 cents. If you get it lower, brilliant. But the reason why I want you to keep an eye on it is because of this little beauty, absolute beauty that we got here. Okay, now this, when it's ready, it's going to be one of my calls in the Telegram group that I'm going to post. Okay, because this, I absolutely love the structure right here. It's one of the clearest ones at the bottom of the accumulation zone that I have seen, and one of the coins that I can find the biggest potential on the whole season. Okay, now I will talk more about this in the next stream. Okay, once everything is settled in the next couple of days, it's going to be the coin that I'm going to talk about. Alright, so here is what I want you to keep an eye on for the next couple of days. Now, AVAX. Okay. AVAX is still following my projection. Okay. It is definitely following the projection. Now, I think it can still come back down to about 70 bucks. Okay, I think it's going to take out this low right here, which is a support. It's going to come down to about 74 bucks. So if this does follow up, you can start looking for a short entry. Okay, because there's a massive rejection of the biggest pattern you see on the bigger time frame. Okay, we got a bullish pennant or falling wedge, but it's a massive rejection. Okay, it's twice, right? And when this happens, they break down quite hard. Plus, it's a rising wedge inside of the big falling wedge. So the bigger projection is, it has to complete this big falling wedge pattern right there. Okay, so that's why I'm reading the price action as it is, with a double top inside a rising wedge, and it has to get another touch on the big falling wedge projection that is currently playing out. Okay, so watch for this thing, and absolute entry and take profit targets. The entry would be about anything between $80 and $87 for a short, and the take profit targets will be about 75, 72, and 70 cents, maybe even 69. Alright, so watch for this. I think it can definitely happen. But in the shorter term time frame, we got a little bounce coming on Bitcoin. Okay, we definitely have a small bounce coming up from Bitcoin, but I don't trust this bounce because, like I said before, the Bitcoin dominance is still acting up. Okay, so until that stops, there is not much to do. Alright, there is not much to do because you won't get that many percentages. Alright, now I'm going to talk about a little bit about Numeraire. Okay, I think you can find a decent entry for numbers protocol. Sorry, not Numeraire. I don't know why I have that in mind, but I think this can capitulate once more. Okay, maybe an entry around 24 cents, 28 cents, and then it's gonna give a V-shaped recovery. Okay, and it's gonna be a nice little V-shaped recovery because that's typically what they do. Okay, 22, 24 cents. It's gonna go back all the way up to this height. Looking at about 140% gains, 100 to 140% gains in a V-shaped recovery. Now, why I'm saying this is gonna go to the bottom? Well, I think this will, because this kind of looks weak action. Okay, it doesn't have buy pressure at the bottom, It looks a bit weak to consolidate, so they will capitulate in once more. That's why I think it's going to happen. Hi Lynn, thanks for coming. Alright, so give me a second. I want to take a look at yours. For one of my subscribers, he asked me in Telegram to take a look at it. Now, I do like this project, but I don't think it's ready to keep on going yet. I think it's gonna take at least a month and a half to just kind of go sideways for a bit. Okay, mainly because it's done for the cycle. I think the parabola is broken, so that's for one. Multiple bearish retests. Okay, and then you got this key zone right here that got rejected from. I think it's gonna fight this range and then eventually capitulate one more time. And it's already been to 118, 240, 80.72, 140. Just did 100%. Do you know what though? Actually, hold up. Let's go with Matic. I think I can put a fractal from Matic onto this, and we might get our answer. So Woods, if you're listening, if you're gonna rewatch, then definitely take a look at this. Alright, this is why I think it needs a little bit of time. Alright. There you go. See? So I think we should be round about there in the fractal. And I think you can get it around 60 cents once more. That's going to be the final capitulation before it decides to go up. Okay, so that's my theory on Ultra. I do like that project, but this fractal kind of fits for me. Okay, so maybe another drop at 80 cents, 70 cents. It's kind of fractal, the trend line kind of fits as well, all the way from the bottom, from the start. I think this is good. Okay, I think this can play out definitely. That's gonna be the entry, at least for me. Now I wouldn't buy anything closer to it. Right, I can also just do this. Start to look for entry around 92 and 80 cents. That's going to be a great buy zone for Ultra. Then it might just go into its double top, I think. $250 again. Okay, so that's something you can do. Now, actually this fractal kind of will make more sense, because it will also make your inverse head and shoulders. That is kind of a bullish pattern. It will be completed and then eventually it will break out. Okay, set alert at about $1.05. Let's see what it does. Okay, but the buy zone is definitely below $1. Okay, especially Bitcoin drops. I think it's gonna drag it down with it. Irfan, my man, thanks for coming. Alright. Alright, so it looks like everything is bouncing. GRT. That's a good thing I cancelled my buy. Okay, so I think my projection is definitely gonna come true on this one. I made a video on it. Okay, why I like the project and TA wise as well. I think you can find your entries for this thing around 35 and 30 cents. Look for entry on GRT around there somewhere, because I do think it has potential to give massive gains. Okay, so watch for GRT. Now this double top is typically what happens, is doing exactly the same thing as Bitcoin at this very moment. The only thing is it's a little bit weaker than Bitcoin. Okay, but eventually Bitcoin broke down from it. Okay, from its pattern. So since it hit my entry targets on this, I wouldn't be surprised if it does the same thing on there. Okay, this is going to be the final stage of capitulation for this thing. Now it's kind of making a descending triangle for a minute. So measure move, the first one will be 35 or 36 cents, and the second one is 31, and these are also Fibonacci targets as well. Okay, so you got multiple compromise there, so just wait and watch, see what GRT does. But that's what I think is going to happen. Okay, air fund for ontology, I think this is what's going to play out. Okay, maybe one good entry at 47, 48 cents one more time, and then you can let it go. Alright, I've been looking at this. This is it's going to be one of my calls when it's ready. I just kind of have to take a look at it one more time. Alright. Wow. Let's say, okay, look, it's a good thing I bumped into this. Now take a look at this. See this wick right here? This massive crazy wick rejection. This is what I'm expecting for the final altcoins to do. Okay, see all this bounce that is currently happening, I think this is what is going to happen in the end with these. Okay, now take a look. We got the XRP that is still kind of doing its thing. Okay, so I wouldn't expect if Bitcoin breaks down one more time just to kind of get all the liquidity at the bottom. This is going to do the same thing again. Right, mainly because it has lower highs at this very moment. Okay, it's got the lower highs, still sitting at the kind of a descending triangle face as well. So it's gonna range, at least for until we get a clear picture of what Bitcoin dominance is going to do and what Bitcoin is going to do. I think it's just a range, so it's gonna be a very choppy market. Okay, now with the dominances of USDT and Bitcoin, this makes sense. Okay, so whenever you look at anything right now, it's practically doing the same thing. Only a handful of coins that are not doing it are already moving on up for my trades. Man, damn, Neo just keeps going. Never hit the stop loss, but hey, going on it. Okay, let me see if there's bearish divergence on QTM. Yeah, there slightly is a bearish divergence on QTM. Alright, see, this looks weak. This looks a little bit weak, to be honest. But hey, look, if you're looking for a nice trade, watch QTM. Okay, definitely watch QTM. But I think it's going to do the same thing as OMG is going to do. Okay, so we already had our bounce. It needs to come back down a little bit before it starts to go on up, do something else. Alright, so that's going to be a really nice entry around $5.50 for QTM. And QTM is also one of those projects very similar to the ONG and Tezos. Okay, so watch for this thing. I think it can play out pretty nicely. It's gonna be a slow coming down for old QTM. Yeah, see, LOCG is one of those gaming projects that you can also play to earn. And this looks a bit weak. It's going to come down again here one more time, maybe about 3 cents. Now it can fly. When it does about 3 cents mark, it can go higher pretty quickly and fairly strongly. Okay, 3 cents is kind of the bottom for LOCG. It's a play to win game as well. Okay, and they're actually in fashion right now. They're trending. Alright, so any altcoins you guys have, just let me know. I'll take a quick look at those while we wait for Bitcoin to finish its bounce. Alright, look at this. Now this is one of the reasons why I haven't posted this trade right here. Look, it's coming. It's coming. Man, patience does really pay, huh? We're gonna get one more bottom at about 15 cents. Okay, on Torum. Like, all these altcoins are gonna do a V-shaped recovery pretty fairly quickly. Okay, this is one of the gems that I gave you on the stream the other day. You can find it at about 15 cents and wait for a nice little gain. Okay, that's gonna be the capitulation phase for this. Let's take a look at the weekly chart for a minute. It's gonna be a nice bounce on this. Oh, look at this. This looks beautiful. Yeah, around 15 cents. Weekly doesn't have much data. Let's go into the 3-day chart. Yeah, needs a little bit of down momentum for the stochastics to reset basically, and then it will start coming up. Almost there. Almost there. $0.15, that's my target. Okay, so watch Torum. I think it's gonna do some work in the alt season. It kind of fits the timeline as well. $0.16. By the way, this is exactly what Phantom did. Okay, this is exactly what Phantom did. Okay, it went all the way from 16 cents all the way up to $2. So I wouldn't doubt that this thing for the alt season goes at least to about $1. Okay. So watch Torum, 6x. From that entry price is not bad at all. Okay. Now ATA is one of the coins that I have actually been waiting for. Now it almost came to the buy zone, but I was reluctant to post this trade for you guys or give it to you early on. Okay, I do like the project, and I think it's going to do some work once it has this double bottom right here. Okay, so here we go. That's where we will be. One more bottom for ATA. By the way, you can play this on leverage as well if you like to play leverage. Okay, one more bottom, just a little bit more by the end of this month, so it should start to go back up. Now the targets for this are huge. Okay, targets for this thing are huge, but I think this has already done a massive run before, so I think what this is going to do is just gonna get rejected by the 618 Fibonacci. So 256% gains from this bottom is not bad at all. Okay, although it can definitely go to its all-time high again, which is about 4x, but it's a security based project for Web3. Okay, and Web3, many projects have not taken off yet. Alright, so watch for this coin, ATA. I do like it. Now last time I actually missed this run up, I'll be honest with you, I missed it, but this time I think it can happen because it's been a massive downtrend, and once it breaks it, it's just gonna go up fairly quickly. Okay, and security and privacy are essential, plus it's a cheap coin. Alright, it's not something that costs a couple of $100. So anyone who's going to get into crypto, they're looking for a good project to invest in, if they can find something at 38 cents and ride it all the way up to $2, it's not going to be a bad idea. Toncoin, let's take a look at Toncoin. Alright, this over $2. I'm gonna have to read about this project. This already had a massive run. Hold on, let me use Dex Tools. I think I can find a better chart for it on Dex Tools. Let's give it a minute to load and we'll check. But it does look good. It looks like a healthy consolidation, right? Just by looking overall, it just looks like healthy consolidation. Okay, it's the initial bar, the crash, the retrace. It's gone into reaccumulation. We'll just have to see if it has the strength to go down. Oh no, oh no. I would stay away from it. I would definitely look to stay away from it. Oh, but this is only the 4 hour. Hold on, let me check the daily. It is holding the lows. Okay, it is holding the lows, but it's below the 55 moving average, and you need to see it consolidate above it. Okay, just like it did back in here. It consolidated above, went back to retest the support before it started to move out. Alright, but definitely something that has already played out. Now the stochastics are still moving down. Now note, when the stochastics are down here or they come down here, that's where you get the strongest move. Okay, that's where you get the strongest move. Now I don't know what place is gonna stop at, but let's try and figure it out. But hey, listen, if you like the project, and if you think it's worth holding it, you know, by all means. It's okay, definitely retraced to about my Fibonacci zone. It means it's currently holding the 786, 330. I think it can come down one more time to about $1.50, $1.60 before it decides to do something. But you know what? I've seen this thing before. What it usually happens is just that the move gets weaker and weaker every time. Okay, let's move weaker and weaker every time. Basically, just put it this way: if it breaks 160, 150, it's a no hold zone. Okay, just gotta let it go, because right here it's a parabolic move to the upside and it's nothing but green candles. Actually, I'm surprised it didn't dump the way it did, but you know, it can be just that sellers are just kind of trading it, and then they will eventually get rid of it because there will not be as much strength left in it. Because 3 days, it's a double top. Now this kind of looks like Bake, to be honest. Bake never went back up to about $4 or $5. Okay, once it had 720, 770, it always came back down. Okay, it kind of looks like Bake to me. But that reminds me, let's check on Bake. I'll do that in a minute. Now there's one project that I want you to keep your eye on, is Oracler. I really like what it does. Alright, and no, that's not the right. That's not the right one. Oracle is one of those projects that Link are following. Okay, so because that's, I mean, this looks awful, but that's only because all these oracles are not playing out. The DeFi is still not playing out just yet. Okay, but this is something that you can look to accumulate in the bear market. Okay, I'm personally going to do so. Okay, I actually got into the pre-sale for this thing. We got it at about 0.10 cents. We sold it all the way up to about $3 something. This is a new chart. You can't see all the data in here, but we did sell it around $3, $4, somewhere around there. So that's why I remember this thing. Okay, so make a note of this for the bear market. Oracle. Okay, ORK is the ticker. And make sure to take a screenshot of this coin right here, ATA. Okay, just in case if I forgot to talk about it on the next stream. But alright, Gary, oh man, this thing is actually wants to go pretty badly to the upside. Forgot to post the trade on this thing, man. Kind of forgot to post the trade on it. Not so good. Alright, any other coins, guys, before I jump out of here? Just wanted to give you the updates. It seems like everything is playing out as projected, and there is not much we can do really. But just wait. The buy zones are already given. They're playing out for the moment. It's going to be another week of chop. But we will definitely get some good short entries on this bounce. Okay? We'll definitely get some good short entries on there. Casper. CSPR is Casper, right? Okay, what exchange gives you the best chart, do you know? Okay, I remember this. One of the guys in my Spanish trading groups, he got into the pre-sale. He sold it above $1. I begged him to sell it actually, when it went all the way up there. Okay, I begged him to sell it because it wasn't going to just keep going forever. But you know what? This looks good. Okay, this definitely looks good. It's like it's done its thing, it's come back down, and it can pump anytime, but it's not gonna be one of those projects that you just throw like a couple of grand into and hopium and just trying to make some cash. But this can go all the way up. It just depends. It's a matter of time. You know, it's one of those projects. No worries, man. What we'll do is we'll check a couple of exchanges, see where we can find the best chart. You're right. OKX. Yeah, still the same thing. What? Maybe Logview will tell us some different story. I will have to study it. It might come back down all the way to about 6 cents one more time, and then we can take a look at it. And then we might be able to take a look at this. Was this a whole multinational release thing? No, it was different time zones. Yeah, it was. Every exchange got listed on a different time scale, so it's not going to be easy to figure it out. So you know what? We'll take a look at the BTC pair first. Let's see what the BTC pair is telling us. Okay, this definitely is going into reaccumulation zone, but I think there's a little bit more drop left into it. Yeah, so maybe around 6 cents, 5 cents. That's where I would look to buy Casper, personally. That's where I would look to buy Casper. By the way, that reminds me, let's take a look at Tower. It's one of the gems that I found on KuCoin a while back. Yeah, you can look for this thing to come around 1 cent. Tower is a play to earn game as well, guys. So this thing can come back around 1 cent, and then you can easily sell it at about 3 cents. Okay, maybe 0.008, maybe just under a cent or 1 cent. I don't think it goes below a cent, but definitely you can get it around here somewhere. Look, it's kind of played that way, but kind of in a shorter time span. Just look at it that way. Yeah, so maybe about 1 cent. It can go all the way up to 3, very easy. Okay, that's going to be 100-200% gains fairly quickly. Okay, because these cheap coins, but especially the play to earn ones, they'll have a little bit of a quicker bounce than any of these other ones. Okay, yeah, so it's 150% gains to the first targets. Okay. So that's where I would look for these things. But yeah, right now, guys, it's still the same thing. We just gotta wait for them to play their chop and move around and do their things. But just a bounce, in my opinion. Okay, look at Phantom. Phantom is still doing the same thing. People are posting so many longs. It's just doing exactly what it wants to do. It just kind of go up and get rejected at every single critical level and come back down. Okay, so you just gotta wait until dominance and Bitcoin settle down. But oh, by the way, a good entry for a short, Ozzy, I don't know if you're still watching, definitely look for SCRT to break down. Okay, it will eventually break down. And it's gonna come back down, do a double bottom around about there, maybe about 470 or even lower at 450. Okay, I know you like to play these things, but if you're wondering what trade to take, I think this is gonna break down. Okay, it has heavy rejections. It's had its run up. I think this is a way bigger distribution pattern that is playing out on the daily. I think this is not. It's a short entry on here is going to be a good idea to look for. Okay, that's my opinion, but I'm going to look for one myself. Okay. Now the same thing with Luna. I've been watching Luna. Look how well the fractal is still holding up. Right. Exactly the same. I'm personally going to look for a short entry here as well, maybe around 53, 52, depending. And usually I'll just start looking at 15 minutes and 1 hour to find the exact entry and then short it down. I think it's coming back down to at least $40 and $37. That's my targets. So that's where I'm going to look for Luna. Okay. Because it's just looking bearish, bear market structure. This is exactly what Bitcoin kind of did when it was coming down for a couple of months. Okay, so it's still not there yet. It needs at least about 3 months of downtrend to start breaking to the upside. Okay, so you do have a couple of trades looking up. Let these altcoin bounce, do their thing, and just kind of watch. Be patient. The good entries that will come a bit later on. Right, look at Sand. Look how badly it got rejected, and it's still playing out. I think it's gonna do a double bottom at about 290, 280, maybe even lower. Actually, $2. And this is a horrible descending channel. and it just got rejected from it heavily on a bearish retest. So that's the first target is almost hit at about 330, and the second target is going to bring it down all the way to this low of 290, maybe $3. Okay, so if you're a holder of sand and you're looking for a date, or you're just looking to trade sand, well, those are the places where I would look to start. But sand has already done so many X's twice this cycle. It's not a coin that I will personally favor on towards. Honest opinion though. No. Now High Street is one of the coins that I've actually mentioned before, and I'm gonna stop putting a buy on this thing because it changes structure so many times. Okay, now I'm just waiting for a higher low, but it already got broken, so that's negated, which means I'm expecting now for a lower low and a bullish divergence to post a trade, and that is where I will start to buy. So basically all these altcoins, they're going to get capitulated. That's the whole idea up until the whole market decides to go. Right now, one reason is the SP 500. Okay, now I already have a chart on this thing, and I think this is for the next week or two. It's going to range, right? And eventually it will just bottom to the upside. But to go all the way to the upside, even just to its critical level, right about there, I don't think it's going to make an all-time high. Okay, that's for certain. So any of you stock traders are looking for an answer around about there, I don't think it has the strength to go to break an all-time high, because this is kind of a bearish pattern, which I will talk about in the next stream. Okay, but basically this is to go all the way to the upside to its critical level. It needs a strong double bottom. Just a one won't do it. Okay, so we need this. Already had a double bottom. This will be another double bottom, but there's going to be two double bottoms, with individual double bottom having a double bottom inside it to make a strong move to the upside. Okay, and that is when Bitcoin most likely in the crypto market will go before they start to come down again. Okay, and that's Bitcoin has been dropping because gold went up, ASP 500 dropped. Now I'm pretty sure the DXY is going to be ranging for a bit. Look, it's ranging. But this looks weak. I'll be honest with you. This looks a little bit weak. Okay. And that's because it's a rising wedge that's currently breaking down. It's trying to hold the best it can. I think it's going to give a fake out and then come back down again. It's going to be a double top. And by that time, it's going to be time for all the markets to kind of make one nice final push and then come back down. Okay, they don't seem as important, but they are, because every single market is correlated. Okay, so if they don't have any strength in it, this looks like USDT dominance. Look, if you think about it, looks like USDT dominance going for a double top. So the dollar might bounce, which is actually will be good, because it will kill gold as well. It will kill its momentum. And when the markets move, gold is not going to go up as fast. Okay. And it will come down. So bearish pattern has to break to the downside eventually, but it needs a little bit more move to the upside. Just seems like it. Maybe if a final double top, let's see the index. Okay, this is looking weak. Now see this thing? The ADX will eventually go to the upside, and the histogram is going to be red by the time it's over. Okay, and the bearish divergence is going to print. So at that time, the dollar is going to drop. It's going to come all the way back down to about 92s and 90s. Okay, and that's where we look to enter the markets basically. Look, it looks exactly like USDT dominance if you think about it. you know. So that's the thing, and you gotta be patient for the next couple of days. Okay, but then by next week we should have an answer, and in either tonight, starting tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, which is the weekly close, I think we should get a little bounce for Bitcoin, and they will do it their best to make it close above 40k, 41k. Okay, but like I said, if the Bitcoin dominance is going up, altcoins are not going to have their run. Okay, and if altcoins don't really have their run, sorry, not that one. If altcoins don't have that much thing to go on, 1%, 2% is just gonna be a choppy zone. Okay, so unless you're an expert trader, you trade futures or whatever you like to do, make sure your entries are absolutely spot on. Okay, otherwise you're gonna get liquidated or you're gonna get stopped out fairly quickly, and it's gonna be hard. All right. So make sure of that, and if not, you're just a spot trader and you're looking to buy some coins. Just, I don't know, just kind of your best bet is to just kind of just dollar cost average at this point. Okay, but my best recommendation on when to start looking to dollar cost average will be when all this thing is done. The Bitcoin dominance is done, USD dominance is done, and Bitcoin is gonna stop dropping around 38k. That's when you look to start the dollar cost average. Okay, it's the best thing that you can do. Alright, because this way you avoid all the fake outs and you avoid all the whole choppiness that is going on in the entire market with the indexes, with the commodities, and just keep your money safe basically. Alright, Cardano. Now I had to ignore the Cardano buy. Okay, I didn't post the update for new buy zones because I didn't think it has the strength to keep going up. I think it's actually going to come back down to about 80 cents. Okay, but I'm worried about Cardano because if it does come to about 80 cents, I don't know if it's going to hold it though. Okay, I don't really know if it's going to hold it or it bounce as hard because this pricing structure is awful. And every single time I've seen this, it just basically means the coin is done for the cycle. Okay, because that's the pricing structure. It just shows absolutely zero strength for it to go. Look at this. Look at Bake. Look, it looks exactly like Cardano. Okay, it looks exactly like Cardano. Actually, let's take the BUSD chart. It has more data. Look. This is what I meant when the coin is done. Alright, we got in here at about 40 cents, the first one. And then we closed these around $2, $3 range. Then we got back in at about $1.10, $1.50. Closed it all the way at 7. Look. This is what I meant by a double top. And Irfan, if you're watching another coin that you gave me, you see this? It kind of looks the same. Eventually they just break down after holding that certain level. Okay, now look at this. This just looks awful. It just looks like it's done. It's going into a bear market. It's not that it's even going to reaccumulation. It just looks like it's going to the bear market. Okay, it's taken out even the lows of the lows were consolidated before its biggest move. So that's why I'm kind of gave up on this. Kind of gave up on it. It doesn't look healthy at all, and that's why I'm not biased to hold any coin that has had a move like this and then has done nothing basically for a year and a half. Okay, so it's going to be absolutely tricky. Okay, so just watch it. So the coin you gave me, if it breaks 150, this is what is going to happen to it. Look, it's exactly sitting around about the same, right? So 140 was the level for Bake. For your coin, it's going to be about 150. If it breaks that, I think getting out is the best thing and just wait and watch, see what it does, because sometimes the chart can look great, but it just lacks so much volume. And I'm not talking about this volume on the indicator. I'm talking about the interest on volume. Okay, it just lacks so much volume that it just goes straight down and down and down. I don't doubt if BAKE comes back down to about 8 cents eventually. Alright, look, this is nothing but a green candle, and everything else beside it is bearish. People lost interest into it. Look, it's done about 93% correction, which means people are not interested in it. This is in a bear market, and the only things that do 90% correction if it's in a bear market, and that's period. There's nothing else to it. Okay, so I don't know if your coin, if it breaks 150, picture it, it's going to go down a little bit more, most likely, and it's going to go into the bear market. Just like I told you about ORK, the Orakuru, it went from $3, it's now sitting at 3 cents. I mean, you just got to start taking some profits eventually, you know. Hey Mavios, thanks for coming in, man. Long time no see. Definitely, I'll take a look at Matic for you. Bearish. Awfully bearish. Now, I'm saying bearish because of this. Right here. Massive wick. And it's done nothing but a huge sell-off wicks on every single week that you've seen. Okay, kind of looks like a head and shoulders on a massive wick action. It's not healthy at all. Now it's weekly. It has bearish divergence. This is gonna print a red hill. This dark green is definitely gonna start turning bright red, and I think it's gonna come back down at least to about 120. At least to about 120. That's just an opinion, but look, this is awful. Why? Because first, it's already got heavy rejected by 55 moving average. Okay. It's making head and shoulders. It lacks strength. All these are critical levels, which are extended all the way back here. See, with all the rejections, all the break and hold of supports from the all-time highs, it's just been unable to hold it, or even, it's not worth it at this point. Okay, it's definitely not worth it. I mean, let's see, Fibonacci's, yeah, about 120, 130, that's where I would personally look to start making an entry on this. But you know what though, let's remove everything from here, and I'm gonna go and do this. Sometimes all you have to do is draw the patterns in such a way that it gives you a simple and clear-cut picture. This is Bitcoin in December and Jan. This is a bear market structure, right? Take a look. I'll just use the fractal and I'll show you why I remember this. See? I think Matic is done. You can even weight it down lower, bro. If this fractal plays out the way it does, 82 cents. But you know what? If you have to buy it at 82 cents, I don't really think it's worth it, though. You know? Now that I look at it, I'm not going to post any trades on Matic. Not even for 10%, 20%. I don't think it's worth the time. Man, honestly, I cannot give you financial advice if to sell it or not. I'm just doing this for educational purposes. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so I can tell you what I will personally do. Okay, when I look at this structure right here, for me, this is a get out point. Okay, because I don't know if you watched the other streams, but I do the same thing and I tell the same thing every time. And you need 3 strong touches on the trend lines. Okay, first and the second. This base doesn't count. Okay, for the trend line it doesn't count. But if you want to take it as such, then you got 2 on either side. You need 3. Okay, it doesn't have 3 at the moment. At this little zone right here, it doesn't get to either side, which means it's so weak that it's not going to go to the other side and give you the touches, right? Now, when you see a double top, slightly slanted head and shoulders, and this weak bearish move, on top of that, you can see this fractal from Bitcoin. By the way, that's a bear market structure fractal from Bitcoin. That means it's not going to go. And if I had to take a look at it, I would personally get out at the next bounce. Like at the next strong bounce, I would get out. And the other reason for me to get out and not touch it again would be Cardano. Okay. 88 did the same thing. Now look at this. It took such a long bloody time to eventually break it. Look, it's doing the same thing. It's doing the same thing. Just this fractal is kind of slanted, that's all. Okay. This fractal is kind of slanted. Slightly more extended. Let's see if I can try and fix it. This is a bear market structure, and there is just simply no way of telling. Look, Cardano is putting Cardano at about 80 cents, 70 cents. Now, if I have to buy these at that time and just only aim for about 150%, I don't think it's worth the risk for me. So that's why I would just leave it. Okay. But honestly, now, thanks for bringing Matic up, by the way. I was thinking about watching it and studying it, but now that I look at this structure, I don't want to touch Matic. At least up until it comes up to about 85, 70 cents. Maybe I'll trade it in futures if there's a good bounce or a response for 100% gains. But other than that, I don't know. I don't actually. You know what? I can tell you sometimes, okay, this coin can bounce and go in a different direction. But now, when I see this thing, I don't even think there's a chance for it to bounce either way. It's just going to do a choppy business. And besides, one more thing that you got to look for is right here. It's trying so hard to hold this descending channel level, which, by the way, it has already broken twice. On a bearish retest. Let's remove the moving averages for a minute. Right. It's a massive fake out, and if I want to take the measured move and just kind of put it there from the rejection level, look, it still kind of points it to the downward move of the fractal. See? To me, that is no coincidence. It's just simple technical analysis. I don't think it's worth the risk for me. Right? Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. I'm here to help. Just make sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel, alright? Just like I helped you, maybe I can help a few more people. Right. I really appreciate that. You know, if you give the likes and the more you comment on the chat box or the videos afterwards when you rewatch it, it's just YouTube is gonna pick it up. You know, with the algorithm, it's gonna post out the content to more people in different regions. So just like you're asking for Matic, somebody else will be asking for about Phantom, you know, and stuff like that. So it helps me out. It's not. But not me personally, it just helps the channel out, which will in turn will help more people out. And that's the whole idea. You know. Cause it's my TA. The only reason why I started the channel as well is because the TA is different. because you got to combine all these different time frames, different ideas, different concepts, and put it into one. Okay, that's the whole idea. It took me about 1.5 years to just get the grasp of it. Okay, now I need at least another year to master it, because nothing is perfect, and everything is going to change. The cycle is going to change. The structures are going to change. In the next coin I pick, this fractal is on Bitcoin. It's not going to be worth it on that fractal. Okay, so nothing is exact. All right. So all right, Adam. Look, this played out as well. Okay. It's kind of played out as well. It's kind of deviated a little bit, but I was waiting for Adam to hit about $20, $22 or something like that. I think we still have a little bit more downward momentum to go. Look, just like I told you about XRP, you know, trying to work its way. But look at the wicks. Eventually they get bigger and bigger, and just kind of, all these futures traders, man, they find an entry, they're going to chop you out. They're going to test your patience. Oh, by the way, DOT. It's one of the coins that I was looking for. This fractal plays out, you can look for DOT at $15 to $14. That'll be a brilliant entry for DOT. Alright. So, still kind of playing up my price prediction video. I did say DOT could come down to about $19 to $20. But, you know, I'm going to have to do an update on that price prediction video and give a better entry. Alright, let me see if I can fit that fractal onto Phantom. Oh, this is gonna break down hard, bro. No, this won't fit. Yeah, need to figure out a fractal that will fit onto Phantom to figure out where the hell it's going. But I don't really trust Phantom at this point. It's done. But yeah, so just a reminder, recap. AVAX, Luna, Phantom. Everything looks kind of for a good short on a bounce. Okay, so if you guys like to trade futures, you know where to look for an entry on a bounce. All right. What you can also do is just go onto these KuCoin and just look for 3S tokens, which are short tokens, right? Oh, look at that. This actually bounced from my area as well. I think you can get about 50% gains. The 10%, 15% to 20% drop on these altcoins is going to give you about 30 to 50% gains on these short tokens, all right? Just remember, do not hold these for over 5 days. Okay, because they will start charging you the fees, and they will take a lot of your profits as well for the down tokens. And never trust the down tokens. Okay, they're not make profit, get out. Okay, they're not tokens that you need to hold. Even though you don't carry the risk of getting liquidated, just take your profits and go away. Be happy with them. You know. All right, so Bitcoin entries are right here. 2 targets got hit. We're waiting for the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th one up to 37,200. That's where I would personally look for a bounce on Bitcoin. Alright. Now, if the things get really bearish in the overall markets, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back down to test the lows of 34. But time will tell. I don't think it gets there yet, though. Okay. I don't think it gets there yet. Or even if it does, it's going to be very slow. At least that's what I think. Gonna play it up very, very slowly. Okay, make it get to a beautiful falling wedge around about somewhere like that, and then break out to the upside. Okay, we will have bounces here and there just to kind of test your patience, but let's see. I hope it drops down in a straight line So we can just go with consolidate and just start going up slowly. That's better for me. Alright guys, I'm gonna get out of here, and thank you for watching. Like this video, share it with your friends, hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified on the upcoming videos on price predictions, tutorials, and live streams. Okay, I appreciate your time, and stay tuned, stay safe, and stay blessed.